Hello and welcome to a brand new photography video on what is a beautiful morning. I've got a lot I want to cover in today's video. I've come out to Cliff Pools Nature Reserve because I want to talk to you today about one of my biggest photography regrets. I'm also out here today looking for two specific compositions. So with all that in mind, we'd best get moving, shouldn't we? Really did get to enjoy a beautiful sunrise this morning. It's not the sole reason for me getting up and out early today. I really hope I'm not going to have a second regret to talk about this video. Yesterday, summer finally showed up here in the southeast of England. However, I'm on the way out now to the first of the two compositions that I'm looking for today, and I'm entering uncharted territory. See, on top of the heat, I've got a 6-mile walk to do today because for this first shot that we're out looking for, I'm not even sure if I'm going to find it. And somewhere around here, there's some derelict buildings, part of, I think, on Google Maps, part of a munitions works, maybe something left over from World War II. So it could be something really interesting to come out and capture if I can find the right composition. It's always something I wanted to come out and find. But as you can see still, we're walking towards the remains of a beautiful sunrise. Some beautiful light in the clouds behind me. Even if I can't find what it is that I'm looking for today, it's still been a beautiful morning already. I think what I'm going to try and do is find this first composition, walk you through the first composition, and then we'll talk about the premise of the video, this biggest photography regret that I've always felt and thought about. So I'll speak to you in a second. Okay, so I've come across this very friendly sign off a track that I'm walking down. I've seen off in the distance what looks to be a derelict building. You might not be able to see it on camera. Might need the 100 to 400 millimeter, which I've got in my bag to capture these shots. Hopefully it's a sign that I will come across something a bit further on. If not, I've always got that. Okay, we definitely seem to be approaching something. I've got rows and rows of buildings over in the distance. But I can see off in the distance. I'm glad I've brought the 100 to 400 with me. But it looks like we found something. Now we've just got to find something that's worth shooting. It's so rewarding when you go searching for something like this. I've wanted to come out here for so long. I've often wondered if it would be worth it, if there'd be any point. Because you don't want to make the 6-mile trek and not be able to find anything. I was just walking along the path, and you could just see these derelict buildings just appearing beyond the bushes. I've had to put the 100 to 400 on as predicted, but I'm feeling almost spoilt for choice at the moment for what to shoot and capture. It's just amazing up here how these munition buildings have been just left abandoned. We've got cattle over on the right-hand side, absent-mindedly grazing, so they might add to the subject. But yeah, this has already been a success today. I've come out looking to try and capture these buildings. I've been looking to come out and capture some shots of these buildings with these buildings in mind, and it's something I've achieved. One task done. I've got 3 tasks in total. First task was to come out and find these buildings. Second task was to talk about my one photography regret, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then I want to end the video shooting one last composition that I know I can come across. I've shot it before. It's going to be no difficulty shooting it again. But for now, let's see if I can get some magnificent shots. Maybe not magnificent, but maybe see if I can get some shots worthy of this scene in front of me and similar, making this effort all the worthwhile. Time for a rest. I think been doing a lot of walking today. And I think it's a great chance to talk about the main topic of this video, the main thing that I want to talk about, and that is photography regrets, or there's one big one I want to talk about. But before I get started, I just want to say I'm not one of these people who focuses too much about the past. What's happened is what happened. Most of the time I look towards the future, but it's always something, this is always something at the back of my mind. It's going to sound really stupid, but my biggest regret is not getting into photography sooner. And it was only when I started traveling in my 20s, I liked starting to take images. I'd use kind of disposable cameras, point and shoot cameras, never a DSLR. Always sell those as professionals use those, not hobby photographers. And I, of course, ended up getting my own DSLR in 2013. But it was after my big trips, after when I go to the likes of New Zealand and Switzerland. So I was still using a point and shoot, going to those locations. And I look at the images that I took back then. And of course, when I took the images then, I didn't have the knowledge of taking images, of photo editing that I do now. And I look back at a lot of them, I think, yeah, they're nothing special. And it's only recently, like I've said in past videos, never delete your old images. Because whilst you might not like an image when you take it, you might look at it back a month later, year later, 5 years, 10 years, you get the picture. But you might look at it a little while after, and you might then see the potential. And that's what happened with my images from New Zealand, from Switzerland. I was looking at them not long ago and I thought, yeah, these images, they're not too bad. And it's annoying, it annoys me as well though, because I look at those images and I think to myself, if I went out to those locations with the knowledge of photography that I do now, and of course I'm nothing special, I'm still very much progressing as a photographer myself. But if I was to go out to those locations now with the knowledge I had, what type of images could I capture, especially with the gear that I've got now? The advancement that cameras have made, the advancement that lenses have made, even kit lenses. And yeah, it just annoys me. It's just one really big regret. I think to myself, if I had the knowledge that I do now, if I got into photography a lot sooner, if I'd realised how fun this was back then, where would I be now? All in hindsight, of course. It's easy to think what could have been now. And I think that's one of the great things about enjoying photography now, like when I've come out today. It's allowed me to go up to that munition works, it's allowed me to get out to new spots, new locations, experience a world I've previously ignored. So like I say, whilst it's a regret that I didn't get into photography sooner, I really do appreciate the knowledge and the enjoyment that I get from it, getting out now. Of course, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Have you got any regrets regarding photography yourself? Maybe, like me, you wish you'd started it a lot earlier than what you did. Maybe there's a bit of gear that you purchased was a waste of money, or you decided not to buy something and you think to yourself, oh, I really wish I'd gone and got that. Let me know down in the comments below. I always make sure I reply to each and every one of you. And of course, if you can, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm, but it is absolutely fine if you'd rather not. So a couple of days later, I made the trip back out to Cliff Pools Nature Reserve with the intention to grab a sunset that has links to my photographic past. Nothing to do with a previous regret, instead quite the opposite, as I'll explain when we get out to the scene that I have in mind. However, I best get a move on. Sunset's in about an hour and a half's time. Still got 2 miles to walk, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple more photos that I want to capture that I missed when I was here the other day. So here we are at the final subject that I wanted to come back out to for sunset. Nothing overly impressive to look at, but this pier has history with me, and not in a regrettable sense. I'm ending the video on a high. You see, when I got back into photography back in 2021, I returned from Cornwall wanting to get into this hobby. It's so much more than what I'd already been. I came out here to Cliff Pools Nature Reserve. Nothing in particular that I wanted to shoot, but came down here to the river and I came across this beautiful, beautiful scene, a bit like what we see today. We've got the pier stretching out to the horizon, the distant shore. Got the sun setting in the background. We've even got some god rays, which are just adding to the drama, adding to the atmosphere, creating some beauty. And what I did when I came out here was I slapped my very first ND filter on the front of my lens and I recorded my first long exposure. This is where my love of long exposures comes from. It's one scene that I've always wanted to come back and capture. However, it's another one of those shots where you need all the elements to come together. We need a high tide. We need the tide to be a perfect height. We need a sunset. And of course, you know how difficult it can be to capture the right sunset. We don't just need any sunset. We want the sunset to be right over in that direction. So I've got to come out here in July, August time, like what I have done. So the scene itself, I'm going to commandeer my tripod so I can take a similar long exposure, get a beautiful sunset off in the distance, and hopefully I'll get something similar to what I captured last time. It's all about getting back out, remembering your photography roots, if I can get my words out, remembering why I love photography. It's not just about the regrets, it's about living in the moment, enjoying the moments that we get. We've got some super ship coming past us at the moment. Thank God I'm not set up for the shot. But when I am set up, when I am ready to go, here it is up on screen for you. What a sunset that was. That's going to be one of the very best I've ever been able to witness, and what a spot to come out and capture it. However, I regret to inform you that that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.